What are you doing there, Dean?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Pulling the front end of my Astra off.
Why?
Because I'm Saab Engine time.
Alright, okay, what was that originally?
1.7 diesel.
Alright, so you're going to show people how to do a diesel conversion, are you?
Show them how probably not to do it. But yeah.
Yeah, so guys, in this video we're going to be showing you, or just hints and tips of doing two Mark 5 Astras to Saab powers. So we've got Dean outside, hopefully it doesn't rain on him. He's going from a diesel to a petrol, so there'll be good hints and tips with that one. And I've just bought a VXR. So here's my VXR. Very dirty, needs a wash, but it is incredibly clean. As you can see, the dust falling off it, but the bodywork is remarkably good. Interior is good. It's got piano black. Or carbon, is it? Yeah, carbon. Obviously we'll get some better footage once it's up and running with it all washed and polished. So a lot of you are screaming out, no, don't Saab a VXR. Well, the car cost me 600 quid. So I reckon the engine's worth bits, money and bits. And that is why she's failed. Conrod's gone altogether. So God knows where that's gone. So we're not going to hang around with this. We're going to be getting the engine out, Saab engine in today. And hopefully back on the road tomorrow. So obviously we've got a reconditioned M32 box for sale if anyone wants one. Operated bearings apparently, blah blah blah. So, time to get cracking. 19-inch snowflakes as well, so we'll get cracking.
Off because Gary already previously pulled the front end off this anyway and made it easier, because this car originally was actually bought just for the engine for a customer's van, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so the engine out of this went in the van.
Yeah.
And then Gary sat on this car for a while, like he does in the horde of yard of cars, but it makes good footage for you guys when we actually do get a chance to do videos.
Yeah.
I've fitted, since the last video, I've fitted an XP kit on it. I sprayed it with rattle tins, so it's not too bad. I've got some VXR seats going in it. That's about it, really.
Obviously we've got Darren just chilling out there.
Darren there?
Yeah.
Hi Darren.
Obviously we're keeping to the COVID-19 social distancing.
Yeah.
So
Yes, we can.
unfortunately, because you can see Darren's itching to give us a cuddle. Look at him. Ooh, itching.
Do you want to cuddle Darren? No.
No.
Get lost, he says. Get away from me.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've got a
It's actually a good colour match, I think.
It's not bad, is it?
Is it? Not bad for a tins.
No, it's
Not bad at all.
So I've got an engine already in there, which I rebuilt off camera because Gary's going to be uploading probably in the next couple of weeks or so.
Yeah.
Probably.
Hopefully.
He's doing an in-depth video on fully rebuilding a Saab b204 engine. So no one wants to see mine that was kind of flung together and I sprayed the odd bit of paint on.
Well, it was done right in the crucial places,
it was
wasn't it?
done right on the internals, but at the end of the day, it's not an overly pretty engine. So, like I say, Gary's doing a much better video of that. So we'll cut that bit out of this. No point filming all the same stuff over and over.
So what are you going to do about your fuel lines then, Dean? Because obviously this is the original return pipe, isn't it? And then this one's the original feed, isn't it?
What I'll probably do is get a barbed reducer. So that's the return. That'll be fine anyway. This one, I think what I did last time was I sliced off this pipe down here, which revealed that, and then you've got something to go over then.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Something like that. That's how I sort of imagine it, but I'll play it by ear. Before the engine goes in, I've got to cut this off here because that's just going to be a nightmare to do.
While the engine's in, yeah.
Cut it there, so.
It's very clean under there, Dean, apart from the dust.
That's because you cleaned it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you were thinking about converting it.
Yeah, as I do.
Yeah. So I think that is pretty well ready now for the engine to go in.
Yeah.
I've just got to get Gary to time my cams up.
Yeah. And then we're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already got the right. This being the 1.7 diesel has already got the correct passenger drive shaft, which I've got to take out. It's got the right gear cables. It's got the right mount for an F23. Both mounts there for the F23.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously, if anyone is interested, rather than trying to use Mark IV gear cables, and if you look up 1.7 diesel with an F23, they have the proper gear knob as well and cables. So, oh, Dean, you've actually bolted your seat in.
I haven't. I've just slotted it.
Oh.
I've wound the bolts in just by hand.
All right.
A little bit, just,
So half a job again.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. So.
Don't know what you're smiling at, Darren. Your Vectra's still not finished. 4 years
I'll
on.
have to come and do it. When are we going to do a video and go just turn up at Darren's and film all of his horde and his cars and his project?
Yeah, he's like Aladdin's cave, he is.
He wants a featured YouTube video, don't you, Darren?
No. Right then, I think it's time that we crack on.
Yeah.
So that's, what do we know? About 3 hours. 3 hours now, so this bay's pretty much ready. Normally I'd clean it up, but with this I just want it done. So we've changed the gear cables, changed the mount from M32 to F23. Got rid of the decat, obviously, front mount. Just any excessive stuff. Yeah, and that's the 5-speed Mark 5 F23 gear stick and cables in. Obviously we'll leave the centre console until the gear is in, set up, and we'll put all of that together. And Dean, the part-timer, has finally just come back for some food. Look at him. Oh, look at him, Tubbs. Come on, Tubbs. Oh, he's cool, Tubbs, now. Oh, he's wearing the glasses. Oh, he's angry. Yeah, so we've also got Dean's engine all retimed as well. That's sat in there. So you're just waiting to mount here. What, Dean?
It's going in.
Yeah, it's going in.
It's actually going in.
Yeah, well, that's how long you've been. Or is that how quick you've been? Or how quick we've been?
On daddy duty again.
Yeah. Put your back into it, Darren, come on.
Get out, put your back into it. Put your back into it. Don't stop. Get it. That's real. He wants this driving tomorrow, doesn't he?
Oh, that's the mission, mate. This is going to be driving tomorrow. So obviously we're using a diesel F23, which was a dual mass. So we've got one of these slave spacer off John Barnfield. Get in touch with him if you want one. Nice bit of engineering work. So yeah, let's get this in. What are you planning on doing with yours now, Dean?
I need to jack the bottom of the engine up and get those 3 bolts in the back.
Yeah. So in all the time, right, obviously we started pretty much the same time, didn't we, yeah? This was a complete car. Yours, I'd already done the work for you stripping it. Yeah. And by the end of the day, mine's going to be further forward.
On that note, well.
Oh, look, he's on the phone again. Skyver. Right, so that's the engine in the VXR now. I'm going to call it a night. Been on it for about 4 hours all in all. So it's not too bad. Stripped, swapped everything over, and obviously been helping out Dean out over there as well. Put Dean on Skid Row outside.
That's it.
You happy with what you've achieved today, Dean?
Yes and no.
Why no?
Because I have spotted something which I think is going to be a problem. Because of the shape of the underneath the leg there, I don't think that pulley's going to come out of the engine.
Yeah, like say,
Run your fingers in there. Though.
No, it doesn't matter. Exactly the same as Mark IV.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's got a big rounded bit.
It doesn't matter.
No?
All you got to do is undo.
You have a look.
Subframe bolt there.
We like these debates.
No, trust me, it will.
Okay.
It'll come out.
We'll see. I'm sure it probably will.
We'll wager it.
No.
Who do you reckon's going to be right and wrong, guys? Dean or me? Can we get that pulley out without taking the engine back out?
There's one big bolt and then you've got to have the room to slide it off.
Yeah.
Drop it down.
The outer ring off, shouldn't they?
So obviously inspecting the infamous Z-let. Obviously you've seen the hole in the front of the block, and there's a nice big hole in the back of the block, which you can see straight through there. Obviously hit the block and the bolt shot out, and that's the one cap. Not very nice at all. And we got I think that was a bearing. Yeah, so obviously we'll be doing a brief video of strip down on this just to see how much damage has been done internally. So I will have a lot of VXR engine bits for sale. If anyone wants anything, just drop us a message. Right then, Dean, so we're going to wrap this up for today, I think. Yeah.
Pack 'em away now.
Dean's on family duties tomorrow, so but engine's in there, and fingers crossed my VXR will be up and running. We might see Darren. Might see Darren. Right guys, we're going to call it a night. Be back at it soon. So day 2 of this conversion for the VXR. Hopefully by the end of the day I want to have it running at least. Nice to have it driving, so we'll see how we'll go. So what we're going to be concentrating on now, because obviously the engine's in, clearly the hubs are wrong, because obviously they've got bigger splines for the M32 box. So we've got some hubs off a 1.7 diesel, which will fit the shafts. So we'll get them done now and see how long it goes. Sorry guys, I'm just tired today, so not very motivated, so we'll see how it does end up today. Right, so getting the drive side done now. Obviously we're going to use the Saab split shaft, but there is about 10 mil difference in track. So you need one of these, which is machined with that little groove there, which sits nicely just in there. John Barnfield used to do them, but I think he stopped doing them. But you can get these off Andrew Crank, so give him a shout and he can send one out for you. So obviously we put that on the shaft like so, and then we put this into the hub. Getting back to the hubs again, any Mark 5 hubs, whether it be petrol or 1.7 diesel, are the same. The only different ones they did was the M32 box VXRs and the 1.9 diesels. So they're the only ones you can't use. Any others you can use. So when you come to put the nut on the driver's side, don't use the Saab nut off the Saab shaft. If you can, get hold of the drive shaft nut off the Astra with the F23 box. Obviously, if you use the Saab nut, it's a lot taller. Obviously, at the top here, this is where it locks the bolt. So your shaft normally with the spacer only comes to, say, there, so it doesn't actually go to the locking part. So if I choose the Astra F23 bolt. One final thing, if this is your first conversion and the shafts still have this ABS pickup ring, also remember to knock them off from the shaft here so you don't catch the ABS wire. Right, so that's all the hubs swapped over, drive shafts in, wheels gone back on this side, gearbox level topped up. Obviously I fill it, take this bung out here, and then down the back on the very flat side there's another bung like that. So obviously that bung at the back is your oil level for the gearbox. So take that out, put a ball underneath and top it up from here, and then you'll hear it when it starts running out. Obviously make sure your car's pretty level. Should be about 1.8, 1.9 litres. So that's the gearbox done. Fuel lines are now done. Obviously being a VXR 2 litre turbo, it already had the return. Obviously a lot of Mark 5s 1.6, 1.8 petrols, they don't have the return, so you'll have to put that in as well. So that's done. So basically she is ready to go on her wheels, apart from that bracket there that I've made for the crank sensor. So obviously that one there was for when it was a 1.7, and then that's the difference. So I need to shorten that to fit the VXR crank sensor in to give us the canbus signal. So yeah, I need to make one of those. Wheels on. Obviously I'm going to make a new down pipe to go from here around. We're losing this front mount, getting a mini torque mount which is adjustable. Slowly getting there. So far I'm about 10 into it, about 10 hours. It's not too bad. Okay, all takes time. Bracket modified. Now, as you can see, the pickup wheel there for the timing. So time to put her on the wheels. See how well she sits with the boat engine in. Sitting pretty well, if you ask me. Probably settle a little bit lower, but so transform it once it has a good clean. So obviously the next step will be to get in the starter loom, an engine loom off the Holy engine, which 9 times out of 10 they are. Get it all fitted onto here. Obviously we'll have to put a Mk4 throttle pedal in for the mechanical cable, but we still leave the potentiometer, the electric one, flyby, connected, because that's one of the issues why the canbus drop signals happen. So on with that next. Right, so that's the downpipe finally made. It's the smallest downpipe I've ever made, but it was the most awkwardest one going, because obviously I didn't want to cut the original VXR operated exhaust, nor did I want to cut the VXR decap pipe either. So getting the angles right was annoying. But that's going to stink when it starts up, because that heat wrap was in a bucket of water sealed with a lid probably for about 2 or 3 months now. So you can imagine how stinky it is. If we had smell-o-vision, you'd be turning off right now. But yeah, when we started up, that is going to reek. Right, so the most important thing now that people keep asking me about is the wiring. Now this wiring technique will apply to any vehicle you want to do. It's basically making the car think it's got its own engine in. So obviously, starter loom, I think you pretty much know what to do with that. Basically you got your alternator, battery, permanent live, and can't get my words out. Excise wire. There we go. We said it. Then we've got earth goes onto the block. We've got a starter motor, excite wire, and permanent wire. And then that was, I can't remember, but it's not needed. No, can't remember. Doesn't matter. We don't need that. Oh yeah. Oil light switch, so obviously that one's pulling out the sheath slightly. So obviously the oil light switch is about here on the b204, and you want to put a female spade connector on that. Yeah, so basically the rest just go back to where you'd expect them to. So yeah, damn glove. Wiring wise for this now. Right, so as I said before, we need to make it think its original engine is under the bonnet. So obviously you're going to have to retain your original ECU, original wet engine loom, but we don't need a lot of stuff. So when you take this off the engine, for example, we're going to use the temp sensor, and that way the fan controls will work as they should do. Then we've got a crank sensor. We need that on the trigger wheel. Most crucial thing to activating the car. But apart from that, we can get rid of pretty much everything else. But from earth wires, obviously if you want to strip this right down, you'll work out which earth wires you don't need and which you do. So I'm going to go ahead now, thin this down and show you what I'm left with. Right, as you can see, just done a quick thin out now. So I'm just going to show you what I've got left. So if you are doing a VXR LEH, you'll see what we've got left. So obviously we've got temp sensor. See, so you got those colour wires. Then I've left the cam sensor wire in there just in case we do get any issues, but I'm pretty confident we won't. So obviously I'll let you know whether I decide to chop that out in time, but just to be on the safe side. So obviously then we've got crank sensor that goes in there. So then obviously if you've got MFD without the sensor connected, which is the oil level, it's going to keep coming up on your MFD to say oil lack. Easiest way of getting rid of it, we haven't got the sensor on the Saab engine, so take this wire, which is a brown green, go into the plug, put an eyelet on, cut it off, put an eyelet on it, and just earth it. That will stop the sensor from coming on. The signal, the warning on the dash. Can't get my words out today, guys. Obviously left this on because I think this is one of those anti-static-y thingy-mabobble things. Yeah, I don't know the name, but I'm pretty sure that does something like that. So pretty much that's all you need. Crank sensor, temp sensor. Yeah, so I'm just going to neaten all this up now and then get it all thrown on, get the starter loom on. I'm just chucking it all together, chucking the loom adapter on. It's not going to be a pretty conversion to initially start with, but it's just to do a quick video just to show you guys how to do it. So here we go. Right, so that's basically it for now. Starter loom slightly modified, as you can see there, that wire for the oil light switch, that wire there, just cable tie it to there. Yeah, that's done. And then there we go. So remember, we need to earth the ECU as well. So we're going to click our fingers and just get that in. And just like that, it's on. Nice if it really did take this quick. But so yeah, we've set it up basically for first trial. So basically we've got our ECU plugged in off the LEH lump. Obviously we've got our earth wire there for the oil level sensor so that doesn't flag up, and we've bolted a earth wire down onto a fuel rail to this, connected up our loom adapter. Now got a battery on, so if we just briefly put the power on an ignition live, just for argument's sake, just for trials. Obviously this is our fuel pump supply. I'm pretty sure we don't need to connect that. RPM and all that excess, don't need to. So basically from the loom adapter we've only got two wires, permanent and ignition live. Obviously won't be able to turn it off with the key, so we will see. Oh, fuel pump's kicked up. Oh, rev counter's working. Power steering's working. There we have it. No battery light on. Obviously the airbag light needs sorting. Traction light's on. Spanner light's on, but you're gonna have a couple, but needs to do a bit more wiring. But yeah, there you go. So next up, throttle cable. So we're going to be removing the mk5 one, which is flyby. We're going to be installing a mk4 throttle pedal. So we've got, I think it's 3 10 mils. And yep, just one at the bottom there. So I'll do this mk4 pedal conversion now. Simple. Just like that, pedal's done. So now we want to install the rubber insert, which sits in that hole right there in the bulkhead. Now obviously mk5s that don't have them, normally there's a plastic bung that blanks it off, so we're going to have to cut a hole in the insulation on the inside, so we can put our cable through. Obviously you need to modify the end of the cable as well. This one's seen a bit of wear on this one, but otherwise it will just pop off the pedal occasionally. So like this one's off a Vectra B, if I remember rightly. So cable install going in now. Right, so coming close now to wrapping this video up. So basically you'll be fully aware of fitting the radiator, your intercooler and all this. So basically all that's left to know really is ignition live. So I'm going to take this fuse box out and then we'll pull the section out we need, pinpoint exactly which wire, and we're running the permanent ignition live into this fuse board. Obviously you can do the same with the permanent live as well, or you can go straight to the positive terminal. Obviously where you want to locate your ECU and your loom adapter, that's entirely up to you. As I said before, this is just a thrown together conversion just to get it going and show you guys how. So last of all I'll show you inside here and we'll wrap the video up. Right, so I just delved into this now. So obviously you want T40 to undo these here, remove the 10mm here, and then what you'll find, you just pull up. These are quite long, so it might take a little bit more than you think, but just keep prying up either side, and then this comes off and reveals 3 segments. So the segment we want to be going into is this one here. So obviously use a flathead screwdriver, go down these channels here while lifting, and then it will pop straight out. And the wire we're going for ignition live is that one there where I've put the yellow insulation. Obviously soldered the wire in, de-pinned the pin out of here so I can get the heat shrink on, which obviously you slide this across. So obviously to lock it, just push it back. So it's thicker black wire. So as you can see, it's that one there, and that there reverts back to pin 22 there. So that's where we get our ignition live from. So obviously once you've soldered it in, obviously then just run your wire through, and then that's just a case of clipping. Oh, look at that, see, because I'm going, there we go, see. So it clips in, and this just pushes straight on like so, and obviously when you tighten these up you'll pull the board back in line. So that's the ignition live sorted. So just to confirm now, we've got our permanent live going to the battery, ignition live obviously from the BSM. Let's just see if she works. Ignition's turned on. She's running, and then key off. And there we go. When you even get the Mfd working with Saab engine. Lovely. Right, as you just seen, we've got the Mfd working, corresponds with the Saab engine. Obviously it will be slightly out, probably going to need Tech 2 to adjust it possibly, but if you do have MFD for your instant consumption MPGs, what you want to do is, obviously we've chopped the loom up before, but you want to keep the wire from the injector 3, which I believe it's the neutral side you need to keep, which is brown and black voxel side for injector 3, and you want to pin that to the loom adapter pin 20 if I remember rightly, and then that way your MFD will work. Right, so that's pretty much all the wiring's cover. I need to make a load of brackets now. Ideally, I always like to put the ECUs inside the car, but because I'm just chucking this together just to get it on the road, just for the time being, it will soon be all ripped out again. I need to make new brackets for radiator, intercooler, yeah, stock. But basically, you get the gist of how to go about it now. Like I say, and we're obviously doing it with the canbus system for that trigger wheel. Obviously, you get the idea. That even the fan will kick in on its own. You don't need to put no bosses in or anything. The only thing I would suggest with the Mark 5 is to install a aftermarket temperature gauge. Although if you have got the MFD, I do believe you can go into that and set that to show your engine temperature. So obviously you can hear that blow. That's not from me, that's from a joint in the middle of the car that I haven't touched. But like I say, MFD's working there, so if we scroll through, that button there, stopwatch range 99 miles, which somewhere near, it's dropping pretty quick, like trip distance nothing. That's 25. Like I say, at least it's not zero. But as you can see, the rev counter doesn't have a hissy fit. So if you need any more information, guys, just give us a shout, give us a comment below, give us a like. I'm going to get this finished, get some boosting going on.